The public housing development in Jamaica Plain will be a setting for music and visual arts on Saturday, June 11th. To tell us about the combination of jazz by the Makanda Project and sparc the ArtMobile is the ensemble's pianist and leader, John Kordalewski. Thank you very much for being with us, John.
You're welcome.
First of all, introduce our viewers to the project. This has been around for a while, and it was really inspired, I guess, by someone you studied with who was a local jazz figure.
Right. Well, Makanda Ken McIntyre grew up in Boston, and I guess when he was in his late 20s, he moved to New York, which would have been around the early 1960s. And it was there that he really established his reputation as one of the innovators of that era and beyond. And he passed away unexpectedly in 2001 and left behind a few hundred compositions that hadn't been heard in public. And he was he was a great multi-instrumentalist. He was a particularly effective educator and put a lot of his energy into that, but he was also a brilliant and prolific composer. So a couple colleagues and I were trying to delve into this previously unheard music, and one thing led to another, and we formed a large ensemble. So we have 13 musicians, and I've arranged the music for the large ensemble. And we started it in 2005, and it's still going, I think, which is a testament to the depth of the music.
We're going to play a little excerpt from one of the recent performances. Now, John, you know, there are a lot of jazz fans who love the big band sound, and they love the kind of innovative big band sound that we have here. But you're also going to be playing at the Mildred Hailey Apartments, formerly Bromley-Heath. You're going to have immigrant families who are not from this country. You're going to have young people who haven't been face to face with jazz. So, how does that feel for you? You're playing before a fresh audience, as it were.
Well, my experience is that people like the music when they hear it.
What do you like about
it? Everything. I mean, if you mean Makanda's music in particular?
Sure.
I mean, there always are these little challenges in it, you know, and he was a master at doing these sort of subtle, unexpected things which give it music an extra depth, but he would do it in a way where there's still a rhythmic and melodic flow to it that we find that people who are not, the sophisticated jazz listeners can appreciate his sophisticated nuances, and the people who are new to jazz enjoy it too. And that's kind of special.
Get swept along with it, then.
Well, I have to concentrate really hard because it's hard music.
You're playing and you're arranging too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're talking here on BNN News with John Kordalewski of the Makanda Project. John, talk about the purpose behind the setting here, because you know you usually have a concert in a park or something. This is going to be right in the middle of the Mildred Hailey Apartments development.
Right. Well, one of our goals and one of the ways that we've kept the band going is by producing our own events and doing them in low-income urban communities where the music has important roots, but there are very few opportunities to hear live jazz today. And whereas if you go back in history, Roxbury used to have jazz clubs all up and down the strip, and there were many famous musicians who came from the community. And when you look at what's happening now and the lack of presence of the music, some people might say, yeah, well, people aren't interested in jazz anymore. And I've questioned that, you know, and
I would too.
and maybe it's a matter of how is the music being made available to people.
Well, what's interesting about this event too is that when you make the music available, you're not just telling them to sit still and keep quiet. You're going to have Spark the ArtMobile there, so people will be doing things.
Right, right. And this is a collaboration we began several years ago, and at many of our Dudley Library concerts, they're there also. Spark is directed by Aqua Holmes, who's a wonderful visual artist from the community. And they'll set up a table and have all kinds of art supplies and canvases, and people will be creating their artwork. And the young children are especially drawn to this, but it's totally multi-generational and totally democratic. So professional artists and people who said, "Oh, I can't paint," all are sort of working side by side and appreciating each other. And just as you said, it creates a context for people to receive the music. So it's a community event. It's not just, okay, we're going to a concert. It's a community event, and we also involve youth in the event. There'll be performances by a dance group of young people from Bromley-Heath, a Latin music ensemble from the Hyde Square Task Force, which is right up the street. The cheerleading group from Bromley-Heath will be there. So it's all meant to be it's a community event, and the jazz that we play is kind of embedded in that.
We should mention the time that this is taking place at.
Yes, the whole event will be from noon to 6. We'll probably start playing around 1:30, and we'll do 2 sets, and things will really start picking up around that time through the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Kordalewski from the Makanda Project.